Hey, howdy, hey, truth seekers, Wolfman 47 here. The truth is out there, and I am not wearing much because once again I was out for a long walk, cooling down. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. So, X Files. Many of you may not know about X Files these days because even though it was popular for a while, it's kind of sort of degraded in popularity since the rise of other major sci-fi franchises, and even ones that are still going today are still becoming bigger than it. But some of us do still remember the X-Files as being one of the most influential sci-fi shows out there, because it delved into, because it was basically a combination of crime dramas with supernatural aliens and other bits and bobs thrown into the mix. It has a long-running TV show that established Gillian Anderson as a major lead actress and has gone on to do various other things. It's also had 2 feature films, which you may not know too much about because I don't actually know if they were successful or not. I didn't actually look up before making this video to find out. But yeah, there were 2 feature films. The TV show did have a revival, at least one revival at one point, to try and continue the story from where it left off. And it's had at least one crossover with other shows, the most notable one and probably most well-known one as well being The Simpsons, which I guess itself was an attempt by the showrunners to basically make a story to do with X-Files, probably originally planned to be part of the Trios of Horror special, but became too big of a story to actually be included in Trios of Horror. Because as you know, most Trios of Horror episodes are 3 short stories that are not canon to the rest of The Simpsons. So this was probably one of those times where they decided to make a show featuring the X-Files, but it turned out that it was too big for Trios of Horror to fit into a short story.
I bring you love.
Is that the love between a man and a woman, or the love of a man for a fine Cuban cigar?
I bring you love.
It's bringing love. Don't let it get away.
Break its legs!
Wait! You want an alien? This is your alien.
Hello, children. I bring you love.
It's a monster! Kill it! Kill it!
It's not a monster. It's Mr. Burns.
Oh, it's Mr. Burns. Kill it! Kill it!
No, let me...
Story. So, all that aside, what do I think of the ending of it? So, before we get into the ending, I'll tell you how I feel about the show is in general. I think it's an okay show. I don't think it's going to be as popular or as big as other franchises out there that are similar to it, particularly nowadays. But I knew it was popular when I was growing up. Unfortunately, I was too young to see it. But and I never actually watched or got into it until the pandemic, when Disney Plus decided to include the Star Hub, which lets people here in the UK and other countries outside the US watch shows and other things that are not really tailored to the usual Disney demographic, which is of course children and families. So I was able to watch all of the Watch Files. Don't know why I got that. X-Files on there. Saw the whole show, and I will say the whole show is a bit of a mixed bag to me, and the same goes with the films and the revival shows. If you want to see my review of the sort of show and its films, so forth, I did do a blog post on my blog for that, which I hope to leave a link in the description if I remember. But from what I understand about the ending, from what I remember, Mulder kills his dad, the cigarette man, as it's revealed, in an attempt to save the world, and is consoled by Scully, because the two, even though they were together for a while as sort of partners, they formed a romantic relationship later down the line, which of course is kind of sort of a predictable thing if you think about it, when you come to work with a partner for so long and you decide to go down that path. Bearing in mind that this was released during a time when LGBTQ wasn't as sort of mainstream or as big as it is now. So yeah, and that's pretty much all I can say about that. It's a show that I would have had time to watch in preparation for this video had I not been too busy with my other commitments, because I do much more stuff these days in addition to my YouTubing, and it's also the reason why I've scaled down on my blog, because it's just been too much for me, and I don't really want to go through burnout again. So yeah, but anyway, back to X-Files. One thing I would say about the show is that an ending that would have probably made more sense to me is if Mulder and Scully just ran away happily ever after, and that would be the end of it. But of course, obviously, this isn't that kind of show. It's a show that is going to have tragedy. It's going to have weirdness. It's going to have all sorts of stuff happening, sci-fi, supernatural, and all that stuff. And honestly, it's one of those endings I don't really remember that much about. And even though I have seen all the entire show and the 2 films, the only thing I really remember from the X-Files is that Gillian Anderson was part of it, and that it had a Simpsons crossover, and that's it. Yeah. Sorry that this isn't really the sort of video you were expecting from me, but yeah, that is how I feel about X-Files. It's just a franchise that to me just came and went, and that's the end, and that is the end of it. But I will give it credit for at least sort of making itself known in pop culture with the theme tune, because often when you get sort of Matrix style incidents happening in your life, you do think of the X-Files theme, and it's actually something that my late sister, may she rest in peace, did actually say many times, that whenever she felt that there was an incident that just felt a bit weird or off to her, she felt it was an X-Files moment. And I remember fondly when we were on holiday in Cromer that I was still sort of binge watching X-Files at the time, and I decided to play it loud, and my sister was in the toilet at the time, and the light came on and the music was playing really loud, and she thought she was about to be abducted by aliens, and she never let go of it since. Even at the point where she passed away, she just never let that part go. So yeah, that was a funny time. So yeah, I guess draw your own conclusions about the X-Files. Is it a good show? Yeah, I would say it's okay. Not I wouldn't say I wasn't entertained by it. But because there's so much of it, there's only so much I can sort of digest and take in. If I was watching it during the time when it was still being broadcast on whatever TV channel it would have been broadcast on, probably a Sky channel or something here in the UK, then I probably would have remembered more than that's on, because the great thing about shows that are broadcast on channels is that, or released weekly or monthly or whatever, is that you do have that time to sort of digest it, review it, and all that other stuff. Which was the reason why on my blog I decided to initially do TV episodes reviews for a little while, and then decided to do full-on TV shows like all together. And now I've just scaled it back to sort of do the occasional TV show review and all that stuff. So yeah. That's pretty much what I've got to say about the X-Files. The truth is out there. Don't we know it? But sometimes the truth can hurt, and sometimes it's better not finding out about the truth about things if we can help it. So yeah. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and the rest of it using the buttons. See you in the next one. Peace to you all. And I think I've already said the motto about X-Files, but yeah, as they always say, the truth is definitely out there. It's out there for you to find, but it may not be the truth that you are wanting to hear, especially with all these general elections that are coming up. So yeah. All right. Toodles.